Here's the very unique thing about fear that you don't know about. So one thing that I realized is that the movie Halloween has had about 13 to 14 different editions or versions to it. So ever since maybe like the 1970s when it first came out, all the way up to 2022, which I think is the last edition of it, there's been a Michael Myers movie. And again, there's been about 17, or I'm sorry, about 13, 14 of these that have come out. And the thing about this movie that it shows is that us as humans, we actually love fear. Think about that. If we didn't like fear, if we saw fear as a scary thing that we should never experience, there wouldn't have been 13 to 14 editions to this scary movie. And there's been other scary movies that you're aware of, whether it's Jason or the Jigsaw movies or whatever the case may be, even Scary Movie, which is kind of like a comedy, if you will. There's been so many different additions to it. So what does it say about fear? Well, it says us as humans, we actually enjoy it. And the thing is, we enjoy it when it's in a context that we love. When it's in the context of a movie, or when you're getting on the plane, it's in the context of being in a plane, or when you're on a roller coaster at Universal, it's in the context of an amusement park, if you will. And that's the thing that we have to realize when it comes to fear. It's the context that we look at it or that we hold it that allows us whether or not to be afraid of it or to accept it. So when it comes to fear, how do you hold on to it? How do you experience? What context do you see it in? Do you see fear in the context of perfection? Do you see fear in the context of I'm a man, I shouldn't feel this? If so, you have a very unhealthy relationship to fear. But if you see fear as something that is, let's say, natural, right, which it honestly is, or let's say you see fear as really an opportunity, because that's the thing about fear. On the other side of fear is opportunity. It's the rewards, it's the change, it's the shift that all of us are looking for. Think about the fear of asking someone to pay for your service right after you've doubled it. Think about the fear of, let's say, doing a presentation, right? Doing a webinar, doing an Instagram live. Think about the fear that comes with that, but think about the reward, the outcomes that come after that. And that's, again, another reason why identifying your why, your values, your purpose is so, so important. But again, I want to just tell you guys on this episode, and it's a quick episode, I want you to tell you the way that you hold fear shows whether or not you have a good relationship with it. And that's why I want you guys to be more open and accepting of when it comes. So the next time you feel fear, sit with it. That's my challenge to you with that. Sit with it. Don't try to make it go away, whether it's with deep breathing or focusing on something else, or retreating. Learn how to sit with this fear and see if you can allow it to be there. And when you do that, you see that fear is not this big thing with teeth and all this other stuff that could like kill you, if you will. And one can even say fear is something that is necessary. And I've said this in previous episodes and even in my masterclass about confidence. Fear is needed because that fear does keep you safe. It's just that when we are consumed with fear or we have this bad relationship with it, that's when it starts to scare us away from having the life that we want. And the life that you want is very valuable because, let's face it, we only have one life to live. Every day is a day less that we have to be on this earth. So that is the thing about fear. If you ever have questions about it, or if you ever find yourself being afraid of it, think of why Michael Myers, Jason, or all these scary movies come out over and over and over again, and you still go out and go see it. This is Coach Wells. Subscribe to the podcast. I'm tired of telling you guys, listen, you're not doing it. Subscribe to the podcast, like it, comment on it, so that way you can get more content like this for absolutely free. I'll see you guys later.